people in the room. Mr. Speaker, every month, whether a woman likes it or not, nature will make you lose 3 or 5 days. And for some, it comes with a lot of pain. And for some, it's longer days, some shorter days. It is unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that in 2022, we still don't have places of convenience where a woman can go and change her sanitary towel because nature demands that she does. Mr. Speaker, earlier contributors have mentioned also the fact that this keeps our girls away from school. The part that also saddens me greatly is the luxury tax that is on the sanitary towels that our girls need. So you may even provide the facility for them to go and change their sanitary towels, but the cost of that towel itself is an issue we have to deal with. Mr. Speaker, imagine if you have to wrap toilet roll around your hand to use in place of a pad, and you don't even have a proper, decent toilet facility to use. It is most embarrassing, it is uncomfortable, it reduces your dignity. Mr. Speaker, I'm truly grateful for this message. I want to use the opportunity to draw attention to the Sustainable Development Goals 3 and 6. 3, which says good health and well-being. Looking out for our well-being as women is ensuring that all our marketplaces have toilet facilities, that our schools have toilet facilities, so that our girls can have a decent place to use, not only for nature's call, going to urinate and the second one, but also so they can have a place of dignity to take care of themselves. Goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. We have fallen short of expectation. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge this House to do whatever it can and to support this call by the Honourable Member of Parliament for Sisala East, and to say that, finally, in this country, we did have a policy that ensured that fuel stations had toilets. We can do it again. We can do it again and provide toilet facilities in all our public spaces so that we can end the shame that women go through when they have their menstrual cycle. Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for this opportunity and urge the Honourable Member of Parliament to continue with his good work. I thank you very much.
Yes, leadership.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to make few comments on the statement ably moved by the Deputy Minister for Water and Sanitation. Mr. Speaker, in making these few comments,
Honourable Leader, kindly permit me to extend the sitting. Honourable members, having regards to the business of the House, I direct that the House sitting is extended. Please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to provision of toilets, I think in 2017 as a country we started very well. And I'm making reference to we recognizing that there were deficits in the provision of toilet to most of our communities. So, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Local Government signed a memorandum with a private company, that's the Ghana First Company, to provide toilet facilities to a number of communities. Mr. Speaker, in 2017-2018 alone, about 2,000 toilet facilities were started. About 1,486 contractors were involved. But, Mr. Speaker, when the ministry was divided into two, ownership of those facilities became a problem. And as I speak to you, the Speaker, most of those toilets have been abandoned. So when you are traveling from Accra to Kumasi to the Bono Ahafo region, Mr. Speaker, you realize that there are uncompleted toilet facilities left and right. Mr. Speaker, if we are able to complete the 2,000 toilets alone, it will help a lot in closing the gap between the house and the have-nots in terms of provision of those toilets. But Mr. Speaker, one mistake that we did as a country was that because it was a private company signing a memorandum with a ministry to do this project, we didn't take into consideration the number of people in some of the communities. So you go to a small community with a population of about 500, and they were given 20-seater toilet facilities of about 2 or 3. So they are not economically viable. But you know, as you are operating them, there will be operational cost. So, Mr. Speaker, in commending the maker of the statement for bringing this to our attention, I want to draw the attention of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development and the Ministry of Water and Sanitation that they should liaise or continue with the memorandum that was signed, even though the matter is with the Attorney General as I speak, to make sure that the company is able to secure funding to be able to complete them. Inability of the company to get the funding, the ministry should adopt all those 2,000 toilets. Then we see a way of completing them, because it is part of our national resources, whether private or public, that were used to provide them. If we allow them uncompleted like that, the company doesn't win, the contractors don't win, the nation also don't win, and the communities where they are located are also not benefiting from them. So, Mr. Speaker, with these few comments, I once again want to commend the maker of the statement and to call on those two ministers concerned or ministries concerned to liaise with the Ghana First for us to complete those abandoned toilets, to be able to do away or eradicate open defecation in our society. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, majority bench. You did very well. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I believe that the maker of the statement, the Honorable Deputy Minister, has done a yeoman's job. Mr. Speaker, the basic fact is that there are some things that we don't want to talk about. But I believe that this statement is making the invincible visible. Mr. Speaker, if you look at sanitation and groundwater, clearly we all understand that when somebody practices open defecation, he endangers everybody. And that is the reason why we need to look at this business of toilets, especially at home, key in national development. Mr. Speaker, I remember when I first came to Parliament, I thought the business of talking about toilets was a big taboo. So Professor Honorable Mike Aaron Quay broached the matter as a major statement on the floor of this House. And I believe that to date, we've all every year tried to celebrate it. Mr. Speaker, I do believe that in the same way we have the energy, the power, and the resources to organize funerals in our homes and for our homes, we should have the same energy to build toilets at home for ourselves and our family. Mr. Speaker, in the same way, we have energy to do big parties, big parties every year, birthday, 5-year celebration, chapel, whatever. We should have the same energy to build toilets in our homes. Mr. Speaker, when I was the Finance Committee Chairman of the Metropolitan Assembly of Sekebita Takrady, I always insisted that I won't build community toilets. The toilets have to be built at home. And I want to tell you, people were eager to pay the 50% cost towards the Urban Sanitation Environmental Project, EUSP, to get a toilet in their homes. And it was always oversubscribed. So I do believe that if you put our national energy towards making sure that the 18% of Ghanaians who don't have toilets have toilets, will be able to cross over the bridge. Mr. Speaker, one of the biggest challenges is that when there are no toilets in homes and in schools, it becomes a problem, especially for the girl child, because they have special needs. And sometimes in the coastal areas of this country, when you see the way we have openly defecated and make those places tourist unattractive, clearly, I believe that we need to do something more than what we are currently doing to make sure that the 18% of Ghanaians who don't have toilets in their homes do have it. Also, there are also public toilets that already existed. I believe that if you look at what Ghana First was trying to do, which has not been successful, we might have to relook at the package and see whether the assemblies can value them at their level, not at those expensive levels that those projects were built. And then maybe absorb them and make sure they become productive. Because we also have the 2007 Jubilee Year toilets, which are also scattered across the length and breadth of the country. That also needs to be done so that they are productive. The reason why, because we cannot keep those capital sitting idle, doing nothing. It is better we complete them, generate some revenue out of it, and use it in maintaining them, or even use the proceeds that we get out of it to support those who want to build toilets in their homes. I believe that by now, as a country, demarcate that for all metropolitan and municipal areas, there shouldn't be public toilets, unless maybe they are doing it in a school or in rural parts. So that whatever revenues or monies they have, they should be able to use that to support households, to make a contribution as well, to be able to use that to build toilets in their homes. Because sanitation at home is always better than communal sanitation. Because if you are not careful, you might pick diseases from the communal toilets that we don't want to bring them home. And I believe that even if disease starts from homes and people use home toilets, we are clearly sure that it can be contained at that level and not spread to the larger community. With these few words, Mr. Speaker, I believe that the call by the Ministry of Water and Sanitation is key in making sure that we provide or get our own toilets and make sure that sanitation and health is up in our communities, in our institutions, and in our country. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to have my voice.
Very well. No, I was looking for you earlier. I didn't know you have moved forward, but when I came here, you deferred to the regional minister. So, sorry, we've lost your chance. Honourable members, I think this statement brings up an important issue which we must all pay attention to. By and large, many communities appear to be ceding the personal responsibility to provide toilets for their homes to the public, so to speak. And we members of parliament have become, unfortunately, the whipping boys and girls for communities where those facilities are not provided. I think our focus should be to encourage and orientate people to understand that it is first and foremost their personal responsibilities to provide toilet facilities in their homes. If, as individuals, they may not afford it, as a group, they should be able to pull resources together and provide it for themselves. There are communities that have no business calling on MMDCs or MPs to provide them with public toilets. But unfortunately, they become the electoral deciders. What sometimes is frustrating is when you've managed to mobilize resources to build a facility for a community. They use it for 5 years, and they tell you that it is full or it is broken down. Come back and repair it. Often, the community is at the services. People are paying for the use of it. Convert that cash, call it community money. But you, the MP or the MCE, should find room and build another one for that. I think it is time we politicians stood together and insisted that people must take responsibility for their personal hygiene and sanitation. Of course, there's always support the truly needy, but we should not permit entire communities to shirk their responsibility of providing toilet facilities for themselves. On that note, I thank the Honourable Deputy Minister, congratulate him for bringing this matter up, and for members for contributing so strongly to support the statement. Honourable members, it is time to revert to a committee of the whole. I'll suspend sitting and come back so that the committee of the whole will continue. Yes.
Speaker, may I plead that we can take an adjournment, and after the adjournment, then we reconverge into a committee of the whole. I think it's better than suspending sitting.
Very well. In that case, the House is adjourned till Thursday, November 17th, 2022, at 10 o'clock in the forenoon.